Welcome back to my channel. So during this video, we will be applying my foundation, highlighting, contour, and bronzing, whichever route I choose to go this morning. My eyes already done. Everything else is done. So we'll start with every step I do to do my base, pretty much. So I'm going to start with my oil. If I can find it. Where is it? I'm looking for my oil. Okay, I'm going to use my Morphe oil. I said in another video, a couple of videos, you always hear me say hydration, oil, moisturizing your skin prior to any type of foundation. So I'm going to take the Morphe oil, and I always just take what's already in here. I don't use a whole bunch of oil. I just kind of put 1 or 2 drops here, and then a little bit here and here. It's stuck in the dropper, I'm sorry. And that's about all I put because I go in with so much other moisturizing products. I just stop right there with the oil, and then I drag it under my eye area, and I moisturize under my eye area with oils and moisturizers because my under eye area it gets really dry. And I'm sounding stuffy now because every time I use oil, when my sinuses are acting the food, it almost like it suffocates me or something. I don't know. But that's what I do to hydrate, start the hydration under my eyes. I think a little bit ran too far. So I have that oil placed. The next thing I like to do is go in with a moisturizing oil type base or whatever. So this morning I'm going to be using the Elemis Superfood. I received this on a BoxyCharm, so we're going to apply a little bit of this as well in the same areas, just a little bit, and working into my skin. And this is a really good oil, and that's why I do like receiving BoxyCharm videos, because they will give you some great skin products. I love the skin products. They can be hit or miss on some of their makeup, but when they do some skin products, they're really good. And I'm just patting the serum under my eye. Because again, as you notice, as I'm applying oils and serums and stuff, I'm strictly focusing on this area right here on my face. The next thing I'll go in with is the Kate Somerville, and I received this in my BoxyCharm in last month's box. Yeah, August box. And I've been using this ever since I received it in my box. I like the formula of it because it's really, it feels really hydrating on my skin. And this is what it looks like. I only take like a finger, and then I'll place it pretty much the same area as the oils, just to give it that added hydration too. But any type of moisturizer that you like, I think is perfect, as long as you moisturize your skin. And I over moisturize mine. Number one, I over moisturize because, like I said, my under eye area is so freaking dry, and when I said it, you will see every fine line that I have, because you can't avoid fine lines. They're just going to be there regardless. But you can apply and moisturize to where they're not as insinuated. So that's what I try to do with mine, because they are definitely there. So the last moisturizer I like to go in with is actually the Cerave moisturizing cream. I love this stuff. I've been actually looking to try different stuff, but I always go back to this one, because it feels to me almost like a primer lotion or something like that. And I'm just dabbing little dollops over my face and stuff. But this is like some good stuff. And put a little bit right there in my nose area. And again, right by my eye area. I know it looks like a whole lot, but it's not. And then just blend it. And one again under my eye area. and blending what's on my neck. And I like to blend down my neck because when I apply my foundation, I drag it down my neck so my neck and my face is the same color. So it's like really, really moisturized now. You can see the hydration in it. You can see the moisturizer in it, the oils, the serums, and my skin is ready to go for foundation. So I'm going to be using my Kat Von D. I've been using this for the week, and applying it is a bit deeper than it usually is. So I'm just gonna take out the Becca and I like to put mine in either this or my little mixing pan. So I'm gonna mix it and see if I can kind of get it to be a little on the neutral side. Because it was too orange. It's been too orange for me, for my skin, and it's usually not that dark. I'm trying to look for something to mix this foundation together with, and usually it's not that dark, but it was like really, really orange in my videos I've been watching, and I guess the video does not lie. Maybe it was always been orange, like that deep orange looking type, but I'm okay with it. But I just don't want to do that today. So I have it all mixed in here, and it still looks a little orange, but I'm gonna deal with it. And we're just gonna put what's on my little stick. But now I do love to use my Real Techniques Expert face brush, if I can find it. I just had the thing. Okay, and it's this orange brush. Now I love applying my foundations. Pull my hair all the way back so it's not in the way. I love applying my foundations with this brush. And why? Because it blends out so seamless. It's not as orange as I thought. It toned it down just a bit. It blends it out really, really good because it looks like it's almost melting into my skin, especially with all the hydration and oils and serums I have on my skin, so it won't dry out. And that's another thing I do like about hydrations and oils. It makes your foundations and stuff apply much smoother, in my opinion. So that's why I like using it. And I'm just applying little by little and just buffing it as I go. And again, I like I said, I like the way I do my technique on moisturizing and oils and stuff, because it works for my skin. I have oily skin, but if I don't do this, if I don't apply my foundation this way and use these steps I just took, my foundation sit in patches on my skin, and then it starts looking like it's sitting in like one spot here or there, and then I can't blend it out. So now I'm going to just drag it down my neck, what's left on this brush, so it kind of start blending in with my face. But it can be any type of buffing brush. I like this one because I've had it for so long. And I will use a sponge every now and then, but I rarely use a sponge to place my foundation, because I like a full coverage foundation, but I like to also make sure that it's blended like well, like really well. And I'm just blending what's left into my hairline, lightly into your hairline, because you don't want that cut off look from your foundation. And I'm just still blending, going around my eyebrows. Every time I apply my foundation, I get this one little string of hair that just wants to hang out on my forehead. Thinking about straightening it back out, but it just takes so long to do. And the curls are just like so easy to do and go. I'm just going to apply a little bit more in these areas here. And we're about done applying this foundation, because I'm not going to apply a whole lot, although I love full coverage, because we still have to go in and bronze and highlight. So, but I'm just making sure it's like blended really, really good before we go into the next step. And as you can see, I do not touch my under eye area with foundation. I wait until I start highlighting to do that because I don't want the product just packed under my eyes, and then that's where a lot of the fine lines start showing and the cakiness starts setting in. So you can see how smooth that looks so far. And my highlighting and bronze is going to bring this tone, this shade down a little bit. It's not as orange as the Kat Von D looked by itself on yesterday when I used it, but I made it work. Okay, so I think that's enough buffing. But buff as much as you want, but buff lightly once you get it how you want it. Then next I go on with my beauty sponge. You can do any sponge. And I do this because after you buff so long, you may start having streaks and lines in your foundation. And to avoid that, I use my I use my sponge to smooth out wherever I may have had some brush streaks. So you can see up close that everything is on my face nice and smooth. And it's all because I moisturized really good before I applied. And it's not even heavy. I love foot coverage, but it's not even heavy on my face with this technique. I think because it's so moisturizing in here, it's not dry and you can't feel how heavy the foundation is. So this morning I'm gonna highlight with my Juvia's Place. I did pull it out. Okay, I'm gonna highlight with the Too Faced concealer in the shade. Let's do this one, warm beige. And then what I do is apply it right in this area. I don't go right under my eye. And then I apply a little bit under on my chin and right in my forehead area. Now I don't contour my nose because I don't have any issues with my nose. It's already kind of on the small side, and I don't know how to contour my nose. If I try to contour my nose, my whole nose probably be black, or whatever shade I put on my nose, it would be a hot mess. So now I'm gonna add some Juvia's Place, the shade 20, on top of the Too Faced to kind of give it a little more highlighting. And in the same spots. And I'm going to let that sit. So while that's sitting, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of contouring. And I'm going to use my Black Opal concealer stick. And I'm still using the items, by the way. Did I open that video? I did. I'm still using the items in my basket for my stash that I did on Sunday. I'm still using these same items in that box. So, like I said, I love doing those now because it gives me an opportunity to use some stuff that I pulled out that I forgot I had. And I'm just adding a little bit of contouring places on my face. So I like to go in and contour to blend out my contour, and I still let this concealer sit. I don't touch this concealer until I'm done with my contour because the longer it sits for me, I like how the consistency thickens up a little bit, so you can kind of control the concealer, especially under your eyes. Because I used to go in and start blending it out with my sponge, and it was a hot mess. Like the concealer would run like everywhere, and I couldn't control it. So I just let mine sit for a little while. So we're just gonna blend out the contour areas where we placed the Black Radiance, and I think it's in the shade Beautiful Bronze. Yeah, it's in the shade Beautiful Bronze, and this is what it looks like, the Black Opal stick. So we're just gonna blend out the areas that we contour and apply this shade. And I like to really mainly just stamp instead of, I don't do this circular motion when I start placing my face products because I don't like it to break up. I like to do a lot of patting my products, especially when I'm talking about contouring and highlighting. Okay, now we're going to slightly just drag that down. Okay, so I think we've done pretty good with everything else. I think we can go ahead and start blending out the contoured areas of my face. So what happened there? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so now we'll take the sponge and we'll start blending out the highlighted areas. So I'm going to start out with my chin, and then I always just lightly blend most of it right here in this chin area. And then once I feel like I've blended enough, I'll go up under where I just contoured it to kind of start shaping where I'm going to go back and bronze. So, and then I start to go around my mouth area. You got to give it a little more highlighting effect. So that's what I do to that part. And then I'll go start with my forehead. I still let my eye area sit a little bit so it can kind of thicken up a little bit more. And I take the same end and just blend out the concealer. Then I'll take the flat side and blend across, because if I use this end, it runs my concealer down into my eyebrows. And I have done that like so many freaking times. And I'll still do it now if I forget to flip this sponge over, because it's more cleaner. And now we'll go down the bridge of my nose. It's more cleaner on that side. And it's not a whole lot of product on that side to be dragging through my eyebrows, if that makes sense. So and then we'll continue to blend. Now we go back in with this flat end again, because like I said, I like to have control of this concealer, because concealer can be, it can give you a whole mess, and you'll be sitting here all day trying to blend it out. So now I'm going to go under my eye. Now the trick to under my eyes, I always blend the product first, and then what's left I drag up towards my lower lash line under my eye. And I start blending right where my nose area is. And then I blend out with the concealer. And then I slowly go up until I get to that lower lash line area. You can see how I'm doing it. And then I just go up. That way you don't have a lot of product caked right up under your eye area. The same thing for the other eye. I kind of work all of my concealer out and then drag what's left up under my eye area. And this works for me, like I said, to kind of not have those fine lines so thrown out there when you look at me. That's the first thing you see are my fine lines, because I used to have it so bad that I was doing it, like I said, I was following other people's techniques, and I had to figure out what works best for my skin, what techniques work best for me, and I found out this is what works best for me. So, like I said, if you can find something that works best for you, do it and continue to do it. I like looking at the trends and following trends and trying them, but if it doesn't work for me, I go back to what I know. So now I'm going to go in. I have that already like I want. I'm going to take Miss Juvia's Place brush, and we're going to set the concealer that I highlighted. And I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Fair Light. And this is what it looks like. And we're going to set and start setting most of the powder right on the cheekbone area. And then, like we did, drag the rest, lightly dab under your eye area to set that concealer. And the same thing for this eye. And I'll go ahead and set this quickly because I don't want it to break up. And set on that bone, and then you're gonna look up, and I look up so I can make sure I cover all of the concealer I placed under my eye area. So now I'm going to go around my nose. And then we're going to highlight where we placed it between our brow bone. And I like to go over my eyebrows because I get so oily during the day that if I don't do this, by the time I get to work, it look like I'm sweating and my foundation, everything else is like super wet. And my skin is like so oily. So I'm just adding an extra layer around my nose because that's the area that tends to seep first with oil. So I think that should do it. Let's apply a little bit more under our eye area just to give that additional coverage. But we don't have but a little bit on here. Start right on your bone again because you don't ever want to go straight under your eye. Even if you want to apply more, I would suggest still starting at that cheekbone area. That way you're giving that light. You're applying another thin layer under your eye. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. You can see my fine lines, but you can't see them as bad as you would have if I'd have went straight in with this powder under the concealer with a sponge or something like that. So this method works really, really, really good for me. So now we're going to go in and just kind of set everything else. And we'll go in with the with my favorite. I mentioned in my video, my Ben Nye. And this is in the shade medium beige. And whew, I'm going to take this, this is an e.l.f. brush. It's just a big fluffy face brush, total face brush. And I like to just dig it in there and then take most of it off. Because I don't want to change the shade on my face. I just want to kind of give it that medium beige and just set everything. And you can see it's bringing a little life back to my face while this highlighting went on it. Now I'm not going under my eyes. And that brings a little warmth back to my skin tone. So that's all I take from this. And like I said, if you haven't tried Ben Nye, I think you probably should. It's like really, really finely milled. And it's a great, great, great powder. So now we're going to go in with bronzing powder, blushes and stuff, so we can kind of go ahead and finish this video because I'm about to be running behind. But I definitely want to get this out for you guys, especially while I'm doing it in the mornings. So I'm going to take my Eyeliner brush, and it's just a contour brush. And I'm going to take the Graftopian, and I actually put it in this container because the container it came in, it was like awful. I couldn't even get it out. But this is the shade, and it's just a bronzing powder. It doesn't have like a different shades. It's just a bronzing powder. And I'm going to do the same thing we did with the Ben Nye powder, just like the tiniest. When I say tiniest, tiniest amount. You can barely see it there. But it doesn't take a whole lot of this. Because if you see you stamp it, you can see it already. And then I like to stamp on the other side. And then once I get it stamped like I want it, then I start stamping it. Like I said, I don't do this because I don't want to break up my base. And then I'll go around my face. And the key to this, in my opinion, is you can use products, but it's all about how much of the product you use, if that makes sense. Like you can use so many products and use so much of it that you can see the buildup and cakiness in it if you use a whole lot of it. And I learned that just by applying makeup and doing makeup and stuff like that. It can get out of hand. So next I am going to go in and do blush and highlighting. So we're going to, I'm trying to find my nice blush brush because I don't want to, let's see. I wasn't feeling that brush yesterday when I used it. Hang on, I need to bend over. Sorry. I'm going to use this Complex Culture brush as my blush brush today, because it's a really soft brush. So we're going to use the Carity Blush Balm palette. This is what it looks like. So we're going to dip into both of the shades. Oh, it's really pigmented. Do I really want to use this today? Let's go for it. We're going to lightly, when I say lightly dab. Because this thing is really pigmented. Ooh. I think I'm going to need to go with another brush to blend it. Ooh, there's some rosy cheeks there. And I like to put a little bit on my nose, a little blush. We're going to not use that to blend it out. We're going to go back in with this e.l.f. Total Face to blend it. I don't want to look like those little dolls with those pink cheeks. You see the cheeks before you see me? Although it's pretty, but I'm not looking for that today. And I'm just stamping it, trying to blend it. Okay, I think that's okay. So now I'm going to go in with the highlighting shade, which is the last shade here. And I'm going to take my other, this is not the same brush I use. This is another Juvia's Place brush. When I wash these things, they look all torn up, but we're going to highlight. And we're just pressing the highlighter. And I'm just going up a little bit. And then we're going to apply some more right on my nose. I love highlight on my nose. I know it may be overrated and people probably don't do that anymore, but I still like it. And I like the look of it. Look at it. A little bit in my forehead area where I highlighted it. And my chin area. I'm loving this. I am loving this look today. So to finish, we're going to go in with, and I like to do this too, I'll take my same sponge, the flat end, and I'm using my translucent powder by Airspun, and we're going to carve out the contour area to give it that nice shape. That nice sculpting shape. So while that's doing that, we're going to go ahead and apply some eyeliner to my lower lash lines so we can wrap up the video. And I'm going to be using my all-time favorite. If you guys tried this mascara, let me know. It's the Maybelline Define the Line. I can't get enough of this mascara. Yeah, it runs down throughout the day, but I still like it because it applies so creamy. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to drag my eyelid. I'm just going to hold it so I can apply a little liner. And it doesn't move anything. Same thing for this eye. There. Okay, so now we're going to apply a little mascara under the lower lash line. And then, let's see. I'm going to use this Urban Decay. I don't know. Let's see. Should I do that? Because this thing is like really big. We're going to try it anyway. And I don't do this. I do this way, back and forth. Just lightly touching the ends of my lashes. And every day, I almost every day make a boo-boo and it drops right down on my face and make a whole ball of mess. And I will do that like almost every day, but I still go out the door with it on. So now we're going to add some inner corner highlight to our eye area. So I'm going to take this Profusion ES6 brush, which is just a little pencil brush. And I took out the Laura Geller Eyeliner, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And we're going to pop this in our inner corner area of our eye. and drag it right there on that lower lash line. And just blend. Make sure you have it blended well. So the last step I like to do before I set my face, I'll clean my blending brush. What the world just got in my eye? I'm sorry. Ooh, I don't know what happened. I'll take my fluffy brush and I like to blend out my shadows. That way it doesn't have that harshness where I blended and buffed and all of that stuff when I was doing my foundation. And I'm just making sure my shadows are blended as well too, up to my brow bone. Now, the last thing I do want to do that I did not do, since this look is so deep, I think I want to pop a little bit of highlight under my brow bone area. And we're going to take this same pencil brush with this same highlighter and just apply a little bit of highlighter under the brow bone and drag what's left from the brush. And I need to fix these eyebrows again. Okay. So we're going to go in with my Morphe pencil. I feel like my eye's about to run. No, 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 no. No, don't do that today. This is why a lot of times I don't be putting my lashes on because they act a fool during allergies. And I'm just lightly fluffing my brows again to make sure my shape is not gone. Because you can see where some of it disappeared on this side from the powders and stuff and the foundation. And no, they're not perfect today, but they're going to have to work. Because I need to buy me some more brow pencils. Because, honey, lately these babies been too dark. And I know they are too dark. But that's all I have for now. So we're going to set them with the Benefit Brow Gel. And I'm just combing my hairs up on my brows to set them. I think this is coming together pretty good. And the last thing I do is take a fluffy brush. Oh my gosh, don't do this to me, y'all. Eyes. This little brush, it still has like setting powder on it. And I'll just flick the inner corner, like the corners of my brows, so they don't have that box effect. This piece of hair, that box effect, kind of blend it lightly. Okay, so lips. We'll use this Nightingale by MAC. I've been using this a lot lately, but then with the Lorac. This is why I know I need to go back in my stash, because I would not use anything new if something's just sitting in front of me. And I love this lip liner. This color. It's like so pretty. And then we're going to go in with, I put my two lip glosses up so I wouldn't reach for them that I used like every day last week. So I need to move this e.l.f. because I've been wearing this little baby out. So let's find something else to use for my lips. This might be pretty with the color today. So I'm going to use this Anastasia, if I can get it open. Y'all don't even know the shade. It came in one of those little packs, but this is the shade. It was like a nudie, like a taupey nudie shade. Let's see how this goes with this. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I like that. So to finish this look, everything is like completely done. Like completely done. This is my full face base, how I apply my base. The last thing we're going to do, I'm going to set my face with this Morphe Madison Beer. And this is that lightest shade, Seal the Deal. In Seal the Deal. It's a luminous spray. I don't normally like luminous sprays, but I've been using this this week And it's been holding up pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and spray. And I spray like, I overspray too sometimes, y'all. Because this mister is like really, really light. I like it. So I do that. And then I'll take my same sponge and spray the sponge. And then, so those lines can go away. And then I'll go in and just set the rest. I do not go up under my eyes, but I do make sure the rest of my face is set. But I don't touch that under eye area. So this is the final look of how I get my base to look this way and to head out the door. So you guys can see up close, everything looks pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some of the things that I do and how I apply. I hope you all, it was helpful to you. And if it's something that you do that I can do differently, please drop your comments down below, because I'll be more than happy to try them. I'm all up for trying new things if other people can share their way of doing it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video. And if you have not done so already, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel and become a part of my YouTube family here. See you guys later.